Hi, welcome and thanks for joining today. Today we're going to take a look at our Tassta desktop client. And once your systems administrator sets up your system with the settings and ports and everything, you're simply going to enter your username, a password, and select the connect button. System will come up on screen. You'll hear a slight beep indicating you're connected to the server. If you can see the system on screen, then you know you're connected. Left-hand side are all our channels or groups that are pre-set up by your system administrator. What you're seeing is a gray channel selected with the name radio base. This is a group that is connected to a two-way radio system. So when you push to talk on this particular channel, test 1, 2, 3, not only are you talking on a cell phone over push to talk, but that conversation is also linked with the radio system. Underneath the channel, you're going to see your individual users. In this case, we have a dispatch user and 2 mobile phones. To the right of each user, you're seeing a GPS icon. On the dispatch module, you'll see that that's blacked out. It is not sending GPS information intentionally. On the Sonum unit, I can right-click that particular user. I can call the user, allowing the user to answer the call. I can immediately put that user into a direct call. I can center that user on a map, check their last known location, listen in an emergency. I can message that unit. I can mute that unit. I can remotely from this screen take a picture using the front camera on the device. I can remotely activate the rear camera on that device, and I can conduct a video call with that particular user. If I wanted to change channels, I simply select my mouse key to the channel that I want to communicate on. And by selecting the push to talk button, we'd be communicating on that particular channel we selected. Next to the group function that brings up all your radio channels is an individual function that will list all your individual users. Again, there's 3 on this system, dispatched with the icon blacked out because it's not intentionally sending location information, and the GPS functions of the 2 mobile devices, so you know they're sending location information. Again, by simply right-clicking your mouse key, it will give you the different functions that you can conduct based on the type of user that's set up on screen. So over to the top right, you'll see our different functions that we can set up on the desktop. Our first is our messaging function. On a messaging function, we can send a message to a group of users, all users, or an individual user. And how we do that is we simply type our message in the text box. We can attach a file if we like. And we can simply hit send, or if there were other groups on there that we wanted to send it to, or other channels that we wanted to send it to, we can simply select those particular users. And hit the send button. In the background, you may be able to hear one of the mobile devices indicating a sound that there is a message for the user. In addition to messaging, we have a task manager function. And as far as a task manager, this is used to make assignments out in the field. So we can create a task. We're going to call this a perimeter position. It's a new task. We're going to assign it an urgent function. Track the issue. We'll call it a logistical support. You can assign a team to that function, or you can assign an individual user to that function. What do you want that person to do? I'm going to say go to Main Street at Smith Court, shut down all traffic. We're going to then save that issue, and that issue will be dispatched to the unit that we assigned on that particular task message. It'll come up on that device. We have a map functionality, and again, as we talked before, we can right-click a particular unit, center that unit on the map, and you're going to see where that particular device is located. Another cool function that we can do with the map is we can make this an active tab. In Windows, I configured it so that my escape key is my push to talk. Test 1, 2. So I can use my escape key as my push to talk button, and I can also right click and perform any of the functions that we saw under the group functions by just selecting what I want to do. So this is pretty neat in an emergency. You can see actually where your units are. And you can perform your different functions right from the mapping screen. All your devices are equipped with a emergency button as part of the software. The emergency button requires the person to hold down on the button for a brief period of time. And then you'll see a little feedback there, but you'll see that the emergency indicator is up on screen. It's kind of hard to miss. We acknowledged it. And again, you can see where that location was on the map to get units to that person. Automatically, based on how your system administrator sets it up, when an emergency button is activated in the field, the audio will broadcast to all the units so that they can hear what's going on. You can set time limits on that audio that's broadcast to the devices. Also go in and take a remote picture or video to check on that unit in the field to see what's going on and why they activated the emergency button. To log out of the system on Windows, you simply hit the logout button and it'll bring you back to your main screen. And with that, I want to thank you. If you have any questions, feel free to email sales@mcpttsolutions.com. Thanks and have a great day.